Can you imagine how you would feel if you ordered some gold from somewhere like the Royal Mint and you unboxed it and it was silver instead? Well, you don't need to imagine what that's like because it's happened to a customer. I'm going to share that customer's story today. They ordered 2 1-ounce gold Britannias and they got 2 1-ounce silver Britannias. £7,500 for 2 1-ounce silver Britannias. That's a really, really shocking mistake. But what's even worse is the customer had to pay for his own return postage to get this problem sorted. And even after it was returned, he didn't hear anything for a whole week. And I had to get stepped in to actually put boot to backside to try and get the Royal Mint to sort him out. Absolutely crazy, unacceptable levels of incompetence and absolutely poor customer service from the Royal Mint. And this is this customer's story. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to another precious metal ramble. It's actually another precious metal rant today about our favourite national institution, the Royal Mint, because they really dropped the ball for a customer. Now, this is not my customer experience, this is someone else, but I've been working with that person and the Mint to get it sorted, which first off the bat shouldn't have to happen. Why somebody has to reach out to a social media influencer to put pressure on the Mint to help sort out a basic thing, as much as you buy some gold, you get gold delivered, rather than you buy 2 ounces of gold and you get 2 ounces of silver delivered, is beyond me. So there's a lot to unpack in this video. First, that the Royal Mint have identified that there are more than this one customer that are affected by this packaging error. And second, that their customer service was shocking. They made this chap, this poor chap, who genuinely thought he'd been scammed, and I'll read you his little message he sent to me right at the start. He thought he was being scammed. They made him pay for return postage to send these silvers back, and then he heard nothing. Crazy. Now, we have had this all confirmed by the Royal Mint. This is the message that I got from the customer who reached out to me saying, I'm in a real tiz, not sure what to do. If anyone else has had this issue, I bought 2 gold Britannias on the 20th of October from the Royal Mint, received 2 silvers. Literally, when I opened them, I thought this must be a scam. Anxiety is through the roof. They are not replying to my emails. Sent the package back the same day, and they said a replacement would be sent as soon as they receive. It's 4 days and nothing, not sure what to do. Absolutely crazy. So it is going to be a rant. We're going to be critical of the Mint. I don't mean this video just to be me moaning about the Mint, but this is a serious story because not only is this a really shocking customer experience for this one customer, but also it shows an incredible lack of judgment on the behalf of customer services, to the point where this customer genuinely thought he was being scammed, has had stress and anxiety, and God knows what else from this. So I make this video to share this story because I have the power, the responsibility even, to share this story, to make the Mint realize they can't keep on treating people like this. They can't keep on just brushing this off as part of usual business operations with sending 45,000 packages a month. There are bound to be some mistakes. That's not good enough, certainly when it comes to this much stuff, because another thing, these items were sealed. In fact, I have a little photo of the package that he received, of course, without his details on. This is an important thing because this little label up here, you see it says BB26G1C, and that G1C is really important because this little cardboard sleeve that these coins come in, this was sealed. So if the customer hadn't opened it, he would never have known. And in fact, the Royal Mint have identified that there are up to, well, they said less than 5 customers affected, so up to 4 other customers that have been affected. Now, we are going to crack on with this story, and I'm also going to unbox these 2 packages here because part of the problem that the customer was experiencing was that when he got these orders, he opened one of them, found out that it was wrong, immediately rang up the Royal Mint and said, "Oi, what's going on?" The customer service representative there said to him, "Can you open up the other one?" So he did, and that one was wrong as well. And then he had a horrible little moment, and I've had lots of to's and fro's from this customer going back and forth with voice messages. I could hear in his voice just how stressed and anxious he was about this. He said, well, hang on, what if they turn around and say they don't believe me? Because he hadn't videoed it coming out. And of course, me as a social media person, you know, I've always got to treat anything that I get sent by just some randomer on the internet. And I make no apologies to this customer. I've told him as much. You know, I couldn't ever fathom going public with this kind of thing until it was all confirmed by the Mint, which it has been confirmed by the Mint now. This is genuine packaging error. But there was a remote possibility that he was trying to pull the wool over the raw mint's eyes. But he was really worried about that. So I would suggest anybody out there to unbox anything you get, even from the likes of the, well, to be quite frank, especially from the likes of the raw mint, but even from some of the biggest bullion dealers, because unfortunately mistakes do happen. We're all human. And this video isn't necessarily me calling out the raw mint in terms of the mistake that happened. I mean, it shouldn't have happened in the first place, quite frankly, but you know, we're all human, and sometimes someone has a bad day at work and makes a mistake. So if that mistake has happened, you as the consumer really have to know, want to know, need to make sure that what you're getting is indeed the right thing. And part of that is doing video unboxings. And the other part of that is having something like a Sigma to test. So what I do is I will always have my Sigma out. I don't publish all the videos, but whenever somebody sends me some silver to sell or to buy, I will always have my unboxing video ready. I will get the things filmed, I will unbox it, and I'll have the Sigma right there. Because if this was a fake maple, and I just go back to the guy and say it's a fake maple, how does he know that well, it's not even a maple, it's a gold gilded lynx, but how does he even know that I haven't just swapped it out with a fake as it's come out of the box? So it protects me as a business, but it also protects me as a consumer. And it's really, really important to do that. So we are going to unbox the rest of this just after a quick word from today's video sponsor. We are very proudly sponsored by Trusty Metrics, who are the UK's exclusive supplier of the Sigma precious metal testing machines. They are fantastic bits of kit, worth their weight in gold, in my opinion. They've helped me grow my business and my stack and have that peace of mind that all the gold and silver that I own and that I buy is indeed real gold and silver. Something that if you're a business is imperative, but if you're a stacker, that peace of mind, as I said, is worth its weight in gold. Now, Trusty Metrics are a fantastic organization, a small family-run business that provides customer service second to none. And I have first-hand experience of getting their technical help and expertise when I've been trying to test big chunky bars of silver like this, or just getting to grips with how the machines run. They are always there. I mean, they've been fantastic for me, even on weekends, to get prompt answers for just simple queries. They are a non-pushy organization, and they have and continue to work with businesses and investors to make sure that the machines that they get are right for them. So if you're interested, you can go and see their website with the full range of machines that they have on offer. And if you're interested, reach out to them and tell them that Backyard Bullion sent you their way. Thank you once again to Trusty Metric for sponsoring our channel. And now back on with our precious metal ramble. Okay, so continuing with the story and the unboxing. So mistakes happen, that sucks, right? Okay, so the guy rang the raw mint up straight away because rightly so, he was in a bit of a tiz. As you saw from his message, he thought he'd been scammed. And I can imagine how he was feeling in that situation, in that moment. Heart was probably going, God, what's going to happen? And the thing that really gets me is that the mint made him pay for return postage. So I think what happened was they sort of said, oh, it's okay, we'll get it sorted, send it back to us. And they said that we'll send him a returns label, and that never came. So we sent it back and they said, that's fine, we'll reimburse your payment. At the time of filming the video, by the way, they still haven't actually reimbursed his postage, but I'm sure it will come. So he sent that back on the same day. They got it the day after because he sent it special delivery. Nothing happened for like 4 days. And then he felt like nothing. I mean, he rang every day, he said to me. And each time he was told somebody would call him back. Nobody ever did. Same story that I have, you know, from my own experience. I think these are 925 silver that the guy sent when he sent them to me. So let's get one of these up on the old Sigma. But yeah, like he didn't get anywhere with this customer service people. They seemingly just were brushing him off like, yeah, we'll sort it out. It's in the process of the returns. Like, this is serious stuff. Like, this is 7 grand's worth of, you know, raw material, 7 grand's worth of gold that is not in the right place. And then, of course, his anxiety levels start to rise even more because he was told that as soon as it was returned, the right coins would be sent out to him. But then they weren't. So then he was worried the mint didn't believe him. And they had no way of proving one way or the other definitively. So he reached out to me, and I had this little message when I woke up one morning. It was early in the morning when we sent it through to me. I couldn't quite believe it. And like I said, skeptical brain, whenever you get random messages from people on the internet, skeptical brain was like, oh, well, maybe this guy is trying to scam the mint. After having spoken with him or hearing his voice notes and hearing what he's got to say, 100% that was not the case. He's not scamming the mint at all. It's just the mint's ineptitude. Wow, really, really bad. So what I will say is that swift action was taken once a backyard bullion fueled email was sent to the mint. So that was definitely something that, throwing silver around, that was good, but also not good, because it shouldn't have to be that way. So it shouldn't have to be that a social media influencer has to send Anne Jessup, the CEO, an email, and various other people. I even reached out to the press office. I reached out to all of my known contacts within the mint to say, hey, this is serious and this is not good. Because the bigger problem was, if we go back here to the image that he shared, it's a sealed product. So this cardboard sleeve here is a sealed product. So there could well be people who bought this, and that's what he was worried about. There are other people out there that are affected that don't know it. And if enough time goes by, then those people would be completely up the brown creek without a paddle. Not good. So I reached out to the mint, obviously. I will say this, there are a lot of good people in the mint. There are a lot of people who just seemingly are very bad at their jobs, packaging wise and customer service wise. I get the feeling though that within the mint right now, there's like a don't shoot the messenger kind of approach to some of the people who are really good in the mint, and I feel like it's just it seems like it's leadership and that is letting people down sometimes. So it's a bit sad. But anyway, after less than 12 hours, we contacted the mint first thing in the morning. After less than 12 hours, we had it resolved. It was resolved in that the customer was going to get the gold replaced. Interestingly, the customer then reached out to me and said, do you think I'm within my rights to ask for a refund? I said, hell yeah, because this is awful. He said, because he didn't trust the mint anymore. And one of the reasons why he got the purchase from the mint directly to start with, and this is the really horrible thing, right? So he sent me this little message, which we can share with you here. He said he wanted to buy a couple of coins for his kids for when they turn 21 and thought the mint would be the most secure way of doing so, as they're so well obviously known. And his heart sank after waiting 11 days. They landed and opened them up to find silver coins, not gold. I would not have even comprehended that this would have ever been possible. I agree with you wholeheartedly. This customer paid premium because you buy from the mint, that's the way it is. But unfortunately, this is the business model of the mint. They charge more because they know they can, because they're going to be the first port of call on a Google search, or because people want to have this extra thing. And okay, you're paying more because you're getting a secure service, supposedly. Yeah, I get that, understand that, but when it goes wrong like that, he lost all confidence. So he had a complete refund. And the really sad thing was, I asked him, he's got the money back he hasn't got his return postage yet. Hopefully he'll get that soon, but he's got the money back for his return on his goods. And I said to you, are you going to go and buy the gold from somewhere else? And he said, it's somewhat put him off a little bit. He's now just sitting on the sidelines waiting to see where things go. Because ironically, he could have taken the refund. Gold has dropped since he bought. He bought on the 20th of October, right at one of the peaks. He could have gone and bought it a little cheaper from one of the other dealers. And I told him a couple of dealers out there that would be the best place to go. But he said he's just going to sit back and see how the market goes now. So we've lost a gold buyer, which is really, really sad. The mint has put him off that. Really bad. Now, this is the formal statement from the mint, which is why I'm confident to run this story. So within the email that I got this statement from, they also mentioned that there were other people affected and that those other people are going to be reached out to. Now, I will just say right here and now that if you go to the mint and try and pull the wool over their eyes saying that you got silvers instead of gold, good luck with that, because that's fraud if you're not telling the truth. They have told us, and as much as we can believe the mint, I do believe the mint, because I say there are good people doing good things at the mint. They know the customers that are affected and they're going to reach out to those customers. So presumably what's happened is within the packaging area, they obviously will have CCTV and it will be identified where the problem was and how many packages were affected, and therefore they can reach out to those orders. I just hope that those people see those emails. I hope maybe the mint takes a step further and rings those customers and finds those errors basically. But this statement, let's have a proper read of it and we can see what it says. So a packing error has led to a small number of incorrect coins being issued to customers before the problem was identified. We are in direct contact with affected customers to arrange replacement products and would like to apologise for the inconvenience caused. as I said at the beginning of the video, packaging errors regrettably happen. I've made packaging errors. I've sent the wrong items out before. But it's how you handle them as a institution, as a sort of seller, as a merchant, that really sets it up. And that's where I feel the Mint were exceptionally lacking in this situation for a few things. First up, they made him pay for his own return postage. How bloody awful is that? Second up, they haven't offered him any compensation. Well, I suppose second, before we get there, it took them so long to even do it. I mean, if this was like identified to me in the customer services, I'd have been straight to my boss and said, hey, this is serious. Like, we need to make sure that I look out for this package when it comes back. He's sent me the tracking details. First, I wouldn't have made him pay, but second, as soon as that comes in, we need to get gold out the door to this guy, because this ain't good. But it didn't happen. It's just the bureaucratic process by which the Mint goes through. And unfortunately, it's let them down significantly. Third point, they haven't offered any compensation to this chap. And having heard the voice notes, I'd love to share you some of his voice notes, but rightly so, the guy wants to remain private. And I don't blame him for that at all, actually, quite frankly. But, he basically has said he was under some severe stress there. 7 grand's worth of gold, money that he saved for his kids to put away for a rainy day for their 21st birthdays. How amazing is that as a parent to give that to your kids? Can you imagine being that kid at 21st birthday? I don't know how old his kids are, but in 10 years, 20 years time, perhaps how old they are, you get given this on your 21st birthday, and that's a windfall. What a parent. What a way to save money, and it's all gone wrong. And you can see, like, that's just shocking. It's so bad. So to not have any compensation to them, and I've reached out to the people that have been helping him, because I've been CC'd in on a few emails, and I've said, look, can you please reconsider giving this guy some compensation, because it's even worse than my situation where I was gifted a 5 gram gold bar, and it makes me wonder, why the hell was I gifted a 5 gram gold bar for some cancelled orders? Makes me think that actually maybe they gave me that bar because there's something even more nefarious going on. That's what I feel. Maybe they're making so many errors right now they can't afford to give it. So this is where these 2 little bars come in, because I am paying it forward as best as I can. I want to give these, so I'm giving these bars to this chap. These will already be with him by the time this video goes live, sending them special delivery. Now, look, I want to make this abundantly clear. I'm not going to be an open book and an open bank account for anybody who's had a customer experience from the Raw Mint for you to contact me, and I'm going to give you some freebies if you've been left up the creek. But I feel like this is the only morally good thing for me to do. I have a responsibility as a content creator. I have a responsibility from all the content I've created talking about the Mint that's old, that's positive. I've done so many videos in the past about the good things the Mint have done, and people might see that and go to the Mint. I have a responsibility, I feel, moral responsibility, to step it up a bit. So I'm sending this guy 2, just over ½ ounces each. They're 0.6 of an ounce each, 2 silver bars from me to him, 1 for each of his kids, because he said he's got 2 kids. And it's not the same as 2 1 ounce gold Britannias, but I do hope that it goes some ways for him to restore faith in humanity, faith in a good society and a non-broken Britain right now. And all I ask is that he pays it forward to someone else that ever needs some help. That's the only way that we can go in this world at the moment. It's the only way that we can make sure that things are getting on. This world is so bad, isn't it? So, in summary, Raw Mint sent customer customer silver instead of gold. What the hell? Okay, packaging errors happen. The customer service was shit. And look, we're in the 17th, 18th minute of a video. I can swear all I want on a YouTube video now. It was shit. Royal Mint, what are you doing? Sort it out. Like, it's obvious this is not good. And I understand that investigations have to happen, but keep the people in the loop. Like, there's no way in my mind that he should have had to pay for return postage in the first place, that he should have been out of the loop for so long. He shouldn't have had to have reached out to a social media influencer to help him. The only saving grace for the Raw Mint is that they acted quickly once it was brought to their attention. And what I would say is if you're in a similar situation whereby you are struggling to get a resolution for a simple complaint or a simple issue or an order related issue with the Mint, you need to take action. You need to get on their case multiple times a day. If you ring in the morning and they say they're going to call you up in the afternoon and it gets to 4 o'clock and they haven't called you, ring them back. Email Head of Customer Services. There's links, well, there's email addresses in the description box to the Head of Customer Services email address, to the General Customer Services email address. And whilst I don't feel it's appropriate to just publicly share Anne Jessop's email address, that is not a difficult email address to find. You just do a Google search and you will find it because it's a CEO email address. Find it, email Anne Jessop. Tell them about the really big shortcomings that you're experiencing, because that is the only way that they can ever rectify it. And if they get enough coming through, they will understand that they need to sort their shit out. They need to make sure that they are doing right by their customers, because this customer's experience was horrendous. And I just feel really bad. And I really do hope that so it says up to 4 customers were affected. So that would mean that theoretically there are up to 3 other customers out there. Hopefully they've already opened their packages. Maybe they've already seen the emails and they've opened their packages from the Mint and gone, why have I got silvers instead of gold? Because that could be tens of thousands, depending how much somebody's ordered, that could be tens of thousands of pounds worth of mistake and money lost. Absolutely crazy. I've never heard of anything like that before. Never. From the raw Mint, even more so. Like dodgy bullion dealers, yeah, sure, they make mistakes all the time. Wow. Anyway, I think I'm done now with talking about the raw Mint. I haven't heard back about my other complaint, and quite frankly, I think my other complaint pales into insignificance. Oh look, I've forgotten one little item from this guy's unboxings. So this is why it's important to have these unboxings on camera. There we go, there's one more little coin here to show. Oh, not in a capsule, so let's be careful with that one. So yeah, what I would say is if you are buying stuff, even from the raw Mint, unbox it on camera. Make sure you got some backup. Make sure you don't have to be a social media influencer. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. You don't even have to speak whilst doing it. Just open the box, show what's in it on camera. And if everything's fine, great. You can delete the footage, no problems. But if something's not right, then you might need to sort it out. And if you don't have the evidence, it could be very, very difficult indeed. Just before we go, I'm going to reiterate quite how good these little Sigmas are and how much I think they are worth their weight in gold, and how you should go and check out Trusty Metrics. There we go. Now we've got a little 5 gram gold bar here. We're going to put this in here just to test on camera, because as I said, when I unbox these things from people, I always do this to make sure that I'm covered as a business. So I'm going to do this whilst we film for this video, and then I'll keep the camera rolling, but I just won't publish the video for all the rest of the silver as we test it. So there we go. There is the gold right in the middle. Easy as pie. Now I can say without a shadow of a doubt, that is a genuine gold bar. There we go. That's it from me. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section on this horrific circumstance. What are we going to say for the Cool Kids Club? I don't know, to be honest. I think we go, I know. And they made him pay for his return postage. There you go. That's the Cool Kids Club phrase. And they made him pay for his return postage. Wow. Okay, see you on the next video. As always, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.